this wasn't the reason why I came here. Minifigs populate the ships, streets, alleyways, and dungeons. And then there's this. I have never been to a convention before, and I thought I would make a little bit of a bonus video because this weekend I'm actually visiting Stockholm, Sweden, and there is a Lego convention going on. I have no idea what to expect since I've never been to a convention of any sort before, but I thought worst case, I have a good time by myself. Best case, we can all have a good time and check out whatever they have at this convention together in this video. With that said, let's go and check it out. So the best way to get around Stockholm is underground. Every metro stop is unique with a different artistic approach, and it's considered one of the largest art galleries of the world. But that does not mean that every stop is pretty. So these are quite nifty. They're a part of a popular subgenre of the Lego Technic fan base, and I've seen these all over YouTube before, and it was pretty neat to see one in person. But this wasn't the reason why I came here. Nor was this insanely detailed and creative approach of retelling the story of Jack Sparrow from the various Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The creators of this build spared no expense in creating a very dynamic and vibrant build, representing the various scenes from the movies quite well. Minifigs populate the ships, streets, alleyways, and dungeons just like the scenes that they came from. They battle, they drink, they party, all in the presence of Jack Sparrow himself. These trucks are quite impressive, but also not the reason why I came here. Okay, but this is kind of cool. Yeah, this is why I came here. A 42 feet or 13 meter Tatooine MOC, capturing different scenes from every movie and TV show that played out here. Since I'm new to the Lego space, I don't know if this is the biggest one in the world, but I have a creeping suspicion it could be the largest one in Europe at least. Feel free to correct me in the comments and introduce me to the other MOCs because this is crazy. Here's an overview of what just one little tiny chunk of this build looks like. Crazy amount of stuff going on. You even have Buzz Lightyear featured on the side here. We got this desert version of an AT-ST, which I've never seen before. I'm not sure if it's canon, but it looks amazing. Considering that this is Mos Eisley spaceport, of course they made space for various hangars and ships scattered around the city. Linking one scene to the next, there's this recreation from a scene that I believe to be from the Obi-Wan show. I didn't watch it, so I can't be certain, but the level of detail here is just great. There's also 2 appearances from Obi-Wan here. Above the city, we have the Rampant Rancor from Book of Boba Fett. Easily the best scene, not competing with much. And next up, we have Jaba's Mos Eisley Cantina. When I picked up the Cantina, I thought it was a massive build, but this is insane. We got characters from Rebuild the Galaxy in the left corner, Jabba the Hutt and his bounty hunters, including an appearance from Darth Maul and the Mandalorian up on the right with some other recognizable figures. The lower deck features Ahsoka in the left corner, Embo with his iconic hat from the Clone Wars, light side Darth Vader, the Bith musicians, joined by Ernesto from Coco. On the right side, we have Max Rebo, Leia in Bouche Disguise, Krennic from Rogue One, along with a bunch of other minifigs that definitely don't belong to this scene. However, I don't think that the Cantina was 2 floors, but this reimagination of it is still so good. Between the buildings, we catch Han Solo in a speeder and Beckett on the roof. Above the city, we have this X-Wing dashing by, and down on the ground, there's this BARC speeder from The Mandalorian Season 3, I think. Perhaps after the escape from the Jedi Temple, maybe. And then there's this. I used to watch movies that I downloaded from LimeWire back in the day, and sometimes you would think you're downloading one thing and you'd end up with a movie that looked a bit more like this. And here we got Luke and Obi-Wan heading to the cantina. In the intersection, we can see Kanan from Rebels, which I just started watching recently. Behind them is a hangar with a crashed Imperial starship, and next to it we can see Hera from Rebels. We also got Rey on the side. Once again, the scale of this build is massive. Underneath the city, we find the Mandalorian Forge, and above it there's that peculiar Vespa scene from the Book of Boba Fett amongst a sea of minifigs from different franchises. The Muppets, Looney Tunes, SpongeBob, Toy Story, E.T., and there's probably a few more that I just haven't seen yet. Another hangar with probably one of the most iconic ships from the Mos Eisley spaceport, the Millennium Falcon. Next to the hangar, we have a pack of Tusken Raiders traveling along the dual sunset of Tatooine. Some stormtroopers riding into town, and then there's also the Crate Dragon skeleton, which was a prop first used in the movie. One of our dinosaurs is missing. At the end of the table, we have the Sarlacc pit scene. 1 sail barge, 2 desert skiffs, and 1 Sarlacc pit with Boba Fett and his teddy. Not sure if this is a reference or a personal touch. The sail barge is a set that I will probably pick up in 2025, but it seems overpriced with quite a small minifig count. Here at the very end of the build, we got a scene inspired from the Mandalorian Season 2, when Cobb Vanth's village gets attacked by the Great Dragon, I believe. I really like the implementation of movement underneath the sand, and it really makes the scene come to life. I've definitely talked enough now, and I will let the creators of this fantastic build speak for themselves.
My name is Joachim. I'm 1 out of 4 for this community build. I've done this part of it. For me, my favorite build is this quad jumper that I designed myself. That's the most intricate build techniques, and that's what I spent the most time with. We started with the base to figure out how to lower it, or should we build it on the base splits itself. That was the first thing we had to figure out. That's what we spent the most time on, and then after that we just built buildings. My first Lego set, I think it was the Barracuda pirate ship. I got it from my parents like 89 or something like that. That was my first. My favorite set, I have to go with the Cantina build that you told me. I love that set. I love the figures and all that.
My name is Anders, and I'm part of this collaboration build that we call Blue Harvest. And Blue Harvest is a city, imaginary city of Tatooine. Everything starts with these hangars that we have built that is into the ground, that has been lifted up from the base. So we are using 16 studs up as a base. It's completely creative build that we have done. We have some builds like the standard sets, but modified. And all the houses that we can see is built by ourselves. We have like modules that are 48 by 48 base. And it's 4 by 29 or 26 models wide. Everything's packed into boxes between the exhibitions. And yeah, it has been very fun build. It's 13 meters long and 1.5 meters wide deep. So it's like 20 square meter of big build. We have tried to capture scenes from the movies and series. So we have, of course, one end Luke's homestead. We have some stormtrooper engaging with the population and so forth. It has been taking like 3 years from idea to completion, and we're still expanding this build for several events that we have had. The most challenging part has been, first of all, logistical things to have this modular building, but then it's more like capturing the details of a living Tatooine city. If we can see at the ravine that I've built, to capture the depth and heights of the builds, but it's mainly fun. So everything started with, we built actually this in digitally. So it is cross-section, 4 modules, that was also calculated how many bricks we wanted for the whole entire build. So this is the starting point. I built this 3 years ago now in my basement. So this is how it started. I would say 500,000 bricks or more, plus all minifigures. So it's quite a big build. We have been collecting Star Wars for many years. We have all those original sets. So I just pick them from my box and point them out. So we have a lot of expensive things here, but yeah. My part is the Luke homestead. It's really film accurate also from all the angles and so. The blue milk, the Banta blue milk. We have like Instagram. You can most likely search for Blue Harvest, and even a website with all the videos and so building things.
After exploring the main reason why I came here, let's check out whatever else there is on the second floor. Upstairs I met Bernd, and he had created a really cool mock of Drayden Voss's first light from the Solo movie.
I sat in my car on my way home, and I thought about how I can build a really long pin which can stay stable and very flexible. And while at home, I built it with the bricks I had at home. I recognized that my idea was really fine. It's just like a vertebra, so it's very flexible. So it's just a string of bricks which goes all around the chips, from the bottom to the top, and it's very flexible. This ship can be seen about 10 seconds in the Solo movie. So it's a sequel of Star Wars. So it's a Han Solo story, it's a Star Wars story. But it's an underrated movie. So this was one of my very first MOCs, one of my very first builds. And Lego itself had a set, I think it came out in 2007, 2008. But it was only half the size. And when I finished building that set, I was quite disappointed because it was so boring. There are rats even on spaceships, and there are big rats on spaceships.
Here's the inside of the Super Star Destroyer, showcasing the wiring of the various LEDs that are installed. And here we got a masterful version of the Nebulon B frigate. The building techniques are so great and well detailed. After spending some time at Byrne's booth, it was time to check out some non-Star Wars creations, starting off with the X-Men mansion. I don't recall there being a wedding, and it seems like nobody's using their mutant powers. Here we got a super slick recreation of Hitchcock's The Birds. I mean, look at the Aston Martin. I was going to get the Speed Champion James Bond edition Aston Martin for my dad's birthday, as we used to watch the movies together, but it had already retired by the time that I found out that it even existed. A little further down, I found these Nathan Swaya-esque sculptures that are mesmerizing, seemingly only using actual bricks and no fancy slope pieces or detailing pieces. As my energy was getting lower as the winter darkness clouded this panoramic glass building, these sculptures lit my mood. But I am getting tired. Finally, we have some scenes from the Jurassic Park sequel franchise, showcasing a variety of really well-crafted terrain building. I will admit I only watched the first two movies in cinema and haven't rewatched them since, so I don't recall what scene this is referencing. In fact, I don't think I recognize any of these moments from the movies, but the builds are impressive nonetheless. Here we have a recreation of the Swedish town Uppsala's town hall. The detail on the streets and the curves of this fountain and the fluidity of the water, it really makes it feel alive. Next up, we have a variety of sets that I think Lego actually designed. We got the Ghostbusters headquarters with the Marshmallow Man that I think was a Lego Ideas design suggestion, the Sanctum Sanctorum from Doctor Strange, and for some reason the spider from the Lord of the Rings set. At this point, I was getting quite drained from all the impressions and interactions and kids screaming constantly. So I made my way down to the shopping area to take a look, but no prices were displayed, so that was a hard pass. Overall, I had a great day, but I wish I shared this experience with someone because there was so much to nerd out about. Outside, it was pitch black and only 5 p.m. The metro station was draped in Halloween decorations, and I couldn't wait to get home and have dinner in total silence. When the metro came, I was quite happy to go home. A day well spent, and I'm very excited to learn more about the MOC community and hear what any of you think of the various builds that you saw. Huge thank you to the designers for showing their amazing creations, and I'm looking forward to see whatever they do next. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, but now I have to go home and FaceTime my dog.